Let's go now to fund management and a company that's recently listed on the JSE. The company's name is Anchor Group. The CEO is Peter Armitage. He's in the Joburg studio. Peter, these are nice numbers I'm seeing here. It says here results for the 6 months ended the 30th of June, declaration of a dividend, detailed cautionary announcement, renewal of cautionary announcement, adjusted headline earnings per share up 52%. So much noise. Tell us more.
Hi, Lindsay. Yeah, I think we're pretty chuffed and proud of what we've done. To put it in context, in our prospectus, which we put out in September last year, we had a forecast of 27 cents for the financial year ended December 2015, and we've reported close to 21 cents at the half year. So things are going well, better than we expected. I think we've had a lot of good luck and tailwinds behind us, but I think we've just got a fantastic team doing good things. The market's reacting well. We've been lucky at a time that our performance has been superb since we listed from an asset management perspective. So that's attracted clients, and we've been delivering great returns to them.
How much of your success is due to the fact that you are relatively new in the market? You're a very high-profile person when it comes to the media, but more importantly, the performance of the markets themselves. Okay, they've stalled a little bit recently, but how much of the growth is to do with getting money in, and how much is it to do with the markets going up?
Well, Lindsay, we're a relatively new business. I mean, we started in 2012. At the beginning of 2014, we had about 3 billion rand in assets. Beginning of this year, we had about 8 billion, and now we're up to about 16 billion. So we've been doubling the business every year. So obviously the market's helped. I mean, the all-share index over the last year, 12 months, is only up 4 or 5%. Our funds are up 25 to 30%, depending on where they are. So I'd say probably 10% of it is market growth, but it has largely been driven by asset inflows into the business.
You listed for a reason. I mean, one of the reasons that people say to me that I'm listing is because it raises the profile of the company and makes you noticed. And you've got a renewal of a cautionary and a detailed cautionary announcement. Was that due to the fact that you listed on the exchange and someone said, wait a second, we'd like to have a look at this company? Can you tell us anything? Obviously you can't, but I mean, you can give us a sort of principle behind it.
Lindsay, I think what we tried to do in our results announcement, if you read the SENS, is lay out what our strategy is. And that's build out an asset management engine across asset classes. We want to add fixed income. We want to add a bit more hedge fund capacity. And we've made it clear that we want to create an offshore business as well. So we've got a strategic objective of having a UK asset management license. So the kind of businesses that we're talking about from an acquisitive point of view would have to fit into that strategy. Above and beyond that, we want to have our own distribution capacity. I think that's been one of the secrets of the business since we started. We've got a lot of people out there marketing what we do. We don't just wait for money to come to us. And we'll be prepared for some time to do acquisitions in the space which bring on assets which can leverage off what becomes a fixed cost investment engine.
Okay, the key driver for the business is assets under management. That's the first sentence of your prospect statement, and you averaged 8.8 billion for the 6 months under review. What is your ideal number? And people say that we get to a point where we don't want to have any more, but what's your sort of critical number?
So, Lindsay, it's something we're debating in the business quite a lot at the moment. I don't think it's an issue that's going to hit us in the short to medium term, but I think there certainly is a number in the South African equity context that's maximal from a performance premium from a performance point of view. We think it's a lot more difficult to perform if you're probably over the kind of 50 billion rand mark in South African equities. From an offshore perspective, there's no real restriction. I think if you've got $1 billion or $100 billion, you can perform similarly. I think one of the big benefits we've had in South Africa is being a small player, so you can be a lot more nimble. If we have a share view or change a share view, we can buy and sell a share in a day. If you sit at a big institution to make that same change, it can take 1 to 3 months. So it's something we constantly ask ourselves. So in a few years' time, when we reach the kind of levels where we think that our performance will be constrained by our size, we'll have to do some hard thinking about how we address that. But luckily, we've still got some time to go before we reach that.
Yes, well, you never know. Things happen. Peter, just very quickly on the markets themselves, 30 seconds. Are you worried?
No, I think we don't think the markets are overvalued. We think you can still find ultimately a portfolio of good quality shares with good growth, and we concentrate on a bottom-up perspective. We are fairly cautious. We're not employing new capital straight away, but we can still find shares that we like.
Peter, thanks so much for your brief time this lunchtime. That's Peter Armitage, the CEO of Anchor Group Limited.